All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Hakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, salutations to the hopeful elect, is fighting the good fight of faith and truth, in sincerity and wholeheartedly, Shalom to the Akwath, which is the women believers, Shalom to you. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And a lot of things is going on, and even within America and Iran, World War III, the prophecy of the MOTB, and also the ushering in of the Lord's return. Because that's what all of those things symbolize. So everything is going on: war, chariots, the Elon Musk and, all these technocrats talking about, technology and technology going inside you. Like all of these things is happening at the same time. So this video, right? I'm trying to make this as short as possible, man. I got so many scriptures on deck, man. But I got to start off with this. Like this whole, man, and it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that moved all the ways thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that was seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, that is what you would call the direct energy weapons that's from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. As we call it, lasers. When you go to Habakkuk 3 and 4, it said horns. All right. Coming out of his, matter of fact, let's get that real quick. The Hebrew word is Quran. So it says, the Most High come from Temeth, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Selah. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth full of his praise. His brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hands, and there was the hiding of his power. So yeah, what you call lasers is going to be coming out of the chariots, and they're going to burn everything up on top of the missiles. That's going to be the cherry on top. So this is why, when you got movies like Judgment Day and all those movies that talks about alien invasions, they know the scriptures, and they also hear the prophets. They know that that's their doom. So it says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men. So this is the time of World War III. So after they dropping bombs and shooting each other, the remnant that's alive is all going to come together to fight against the Lord. So it said, out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that come out of the sea. That's Shemayim in the Hebrew, which is the heavens. Okay. Before, elements was in water form. All right. Apostle Tahar did a breakdown on Genesis 1. And, before things came together, it was in water form. And that's why, the heavens is called Shemayim, which means waters. So, it said, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself upon a great mountain and flew upon it. That's how big the chariot is going to be. And it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all that were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. The Lord gonna put the spirit on, even though they're gonna be scared as hell. Imagine seeing something bigger than the earth coming out of the sky. The Lord got to put a hell of a spirit on you to fight, instead of going to, hiding. It said, and lo, he saw the violence of the multitude that came. He neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But I only saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue cast out sparks and tempests, and they were all mixed together. The blast of the fire, the flaming breath, the great tempest fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burnt up every one, so that upon of a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So this is what's about to come to the earth. All right. So let's listen up.
question is buzzing around a lot this week. Are we alone in the universe? So here's what President Obama said that got all of this back in the headlines. Watch.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
Now, what Obama said, which is true, there's no damn chariot, in Area 51. There's no damn alien in Area 51. Nothing underground, because first of all, you can't contain a chariot. Chariot is a spirit. All right. Just like our Father is a spirit. And you can't even, like they say, they call it UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenons. The reason they call it, because they say that, man, the technology of these things is like 1,000 years past us. They defy gravity, So how the hell can you catch something that could stop, pinpoint on a dime, go left, right, up, down, super speed? You can't catch that,
He later said the chances that we have been visited by aliens is low. I saw no evidence during my presidency that they had made contact with us. He was suggesting that he was joking and having some fun with the podcaster in that particular instance. Here's President Trump, though, when he got a question about what President Obama said on Air Force One from Peter Doocy. Watch.
And another thing, too, like I said, all these things is happening at the same time. War, the signs of the chariots, the MOTB, Jacob's trouble, with the ice and everything. Like all of these things, the Lord is setting the stage for all these things to take place. That's why the Lord said that day is going to be great. It's going to be a time in history, the worst time in history that it have ever been. Like, it's been wars before. It's been famines before. It's been cannibalism before. There's been people who died. World War I, millions of people died. I think they say like 100 million, to be honest. I can't remember the exact number. But like the World War Wars is maybe all together like hundreds of millions died. So it's been times where a lot of people died. But when we read the scriptures, going into how mass death is going to happen. The Lord said that the day come where people should be taken at a great number. So that's what's all about to happen. All right.
Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing.
And this is something that they don't want to talk about, because they actually know that what they call aliens are the chariots of the Lord. So they really don't that's why they give you, little bits and pieces. They really never came out and say, yeah, they just want to call it aliens. And that's why the Lord said, don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Talking to you Israelites out there. The things that they call aliens and UFOs, those are the chariots of salvation. Okay? Let's get that real quick. It said, was Yahweh displeased against the rivers? Was your anger against the rivers? Was your wrath against the sea? That you did ride upon your horses in the chariots of salvation? It's because like when the Lord come back, a lot of destruction is going to happen. Like on top of bombs flying, the chariot's going to be shooting fire, man.
So that got a lot of attention. Hours later, the president posting on Truth Social that he's directing the release of government files related to alien.
We've been talking about releasing government files. They're never going to come out and say, what basically the truth. So it said, and I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. He said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, seeing a flying roll, the length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof are 10 cubits. Then he said unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. Now remember, the Lord is not coming back the way that people think. Because, you know, Christianity tricked a lot of people. People, like when I be reading comments sometimes, oh, Jesus is on his way back. Jesus is coming. That's why the scripture says, woe unto you who desire the day of the Lord. For what end is it for you? For the day of the Lord is darkness and not light, with any brightness in it. Amos 5:18. So you have to understand that when the Lord come back, he's coming back to destroy and save. Okay? Only save the elect of Israel. So that go over the face of the whole earth, for everyone that stealeth shall be cut off. You know who the main thief? Esau, Edom. As on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off on that side according to it. And I will bring forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. You know, hey, this is the land that Esau, Edom conquered, stole, oppressed the Israelites on this land, took the land from the Israelites. The scripture says, he that stealeth a man, and if that man be found in his hand, he should surely be put to death. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's Nahum 3:1. Woe unto the bloody city, is full of lies and robbery, and the prey departeth not. That's us. So verse 4, and I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter to the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. So the Lord gonna knock all of this out the way. All the infrastructure gonna be broke. This whole land is gonna become a desert. Okay? So
The extraterrestrial life and UFOs. He wants everything to come out that the government has on this. So with that, we bring in Republican Congresswoman from Florida, Anna Paulina Luna. She is chair of the Oversight Committee Task Force on the declassification of federal secrets. She has said that there is evidence of interdimensional beings that can operate through the time spaces that we currently have, which is obviously going to catch a lot of people's attention. Anna Paulina Luna, thank you very much, Congressman. It's good to have you with us today. So I want to go back to that. You told Joe Rogan in a podcast in August when you were discussing all of this that you have viewed evidence of interdimensional beings here on Earth and that they operate through the time spaces that we currently have. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, I think that a good example would be some of the photo visual evidence that we've seen directly in some of these classified briefings that will now be made public. One of the famously now, infamous videos that we...
You also always got to remember, Esau, Edom always have things up his sleeve. It's been whistleblowers, and I made videos on it the past few years about how they said they was going to do a fake alien invasion. They literally was going to do Project Bluebeam. With Project Bluebeam, they could make a chariot appear in the sky, but within that Project Bluebeam, they literally going to have a drone within it shooting direct energy weapons, and it's going to look like an alien invasion. Okay? But yes, these videos that they are showing are the chariots of the Lord, but that's light work compared to what we're going to see as time continue to keep going on, and the ability of these chariots. Because there's been plenty of videos over the years where the chariots are just playing games with them. They try to shoot at them. And the one video that I love, like basically they shot like thousands of bullets at the chariot. I wish I could find that video, and the chariot was just going through them, like just dodging them. Barry Sanders on them.
in one of our hearings was actually a video that was dead dropped to Eric Burleson, who's a member of Congress, from within the Department of War, and it shows a UAP, an unidentified aerial phenomena, deflecting a Hellfire missile. This was taken off of ISR footage off the coast of, I believe it was Yemen. So long story short, there have been briefings that we've received as Congress that leads us to believe that yes, there is definitely an advanced technology out there that's not created by mankind. And yes, of course, we've seen other evidence where it could potentially be UAPs, and then we later find out that there's drones. But there is.
And that's the thing, too. All of this represents your end, Esau. Let's read about it. So it said there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. So the dragon and his angels is talking about his military, his space force, okay? Fighting against the angels, okay? And it says, and prevailed not, as we read in 2nd Esdras 13, that on the sudden of a innumerable multitude, it was nothing left, okay? Lord going to destroy you. Easy work. And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. Which means that when the Lord say a new heaven and a new earth, that's your rulership going down and our rulership coming up. Okay? You're in your heaven right now. But now their place going to be found anymore. Okay? Your position, being the top dog, the earth given into the hands of the wicked, your time is short. The joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him, which is just his support system. Okay? So you have to understand that the scriptures already foretold this devil to fall. These things that we making videos on, that they show in the news, it's beautiful. The Lord is letting you know what time it is and what time we are. The scripture says a wise man discerneth both time and judgment. Ecclesiastes 8:5.
A certain amount of evidence that we simply can't explain. Some of the physics that are
something that they can't explain. You're right. This is out of your pay grade. Okay? This is something like even Yahweh Shah said this. I ain't gonna meet you as a man. That's in Isaiah 47, but I want to get this one. Now the Egyptians are man and not Elohim. Okay? You're not the powers. You're not Michael and the archangels. You're not Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, you just a man. And their horse is flesh and not spirit. When Yahweh, because you can't destroy a spirit, but you can destroy flesh. When Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall. We just read that in Revelation. Okay, his angels cast out with him. And he that is hoping shall fall down, and all they shall fail together. Yeah, you got people who actually trust in the military and think. Because here's the thing. When these things happen, people don't understand and know what we're talking about. So a lot of people still gonna believe that these are aliens. And guess what? They're going to be scared. And sadly, Israelites going to be hoping that the government would take them out. So if you hope, you're going to fall with them, as the scripture just said. If you hope that, all right?
And how these vehicles operate are very interesting to note. And we are not the only government that's, looked into this extensively. But I really do look at this from a lens of.
That's why we read in 2nd Esdras 13 that they all will come together and fight. Ronald Reagan, I want to say in the year I was born, either 1988 or 1984. 1988, I really want to say, at the United Nations Assembly, he said, should basically put all our differences to a side to come together to fight against the outside forces. All right. So everything is fulfilling prophecy, the way that the Lord said it was going to happen.
National security. And as you know, as we continue to evolve specifically on the front of AI and drone technology, we have to ensure that are these things things, whatever they may be, are they potential adversarial weapons, advanced weapons, or not? And I think the whole aspect that the federal government can deny access to members of Congress, of which has happened not just to.
So, video getting a little lengthy. So it says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him, Yahushua, was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he do judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, which means he took down all the kingdoms, as it say in Daniel's 2:44. And it said, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and the name is called the Word of the Most High. Okay? So all of that is symbolic, because there ain't going to be no blood splattered on Yahushua. And it says, but it do represents a lot of bloodshed. That's what he's going to bring. And the armies which were in heaven follow him upon the white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth, we just read this in Second Esdras, all right, go over a sharp sword, that with it should smite the nations, and he should rule them with a rod of iron, tread of the winepress of the fierce and wrath of the almighty power. And he had on his vesture and on his thigh written, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. He also is the Alpha and Omega. All right. Let it play a little bit more, and I'm going to end it with one scripture.
Myself, but to other members of Congress as well, is not just alarming, but it's also something that cannot truly exist in a free and fair society. Government should not operate in secrecy. And so I look forward to the American people being able to determine their own conclusion after they've seen some of the evidence that we have seen. But most recently, Representative Gates actually came forward. He was on that initial CODAL with me and Representative Tim Burchett, where we were denied access. And he will tell you that if you've seen some of the stuff that we've seen, you will too become a believer.
So,
Right. And that's the thing. They seen things that we haven't even seen yet. So these devils know, all right? But the Lord is saving the best for last. So all of this represents Esau's downfall. They know it. That's why they trying to get into tech. They trying to get into immortality, and all of that. So then cometh the end, when he should deliver up the kingdom to the Most High, even the Father, when he should have put down all rule and authority and all power. So that's the many crowns that's going to be on his head. When he come back, it's only going to be one government. All right. And hey, all of this is happening at the same time. We are in beautiful times. And hey, all you people out there who playing games, seek ye out the Lord while he may be found. And Shalom.